Okay.
Andrea, are you...
Yeah, I have a lesson. Can I just run for like 3 minutes? Are you okay holding him for a couple minutes?
Yeah, of course.
All right. I will be... All right, chat, we're doing a London lesson with Rosen. I'm going to pee, grab a drink, and fill my water bottle.
And thank you so much to everybody who donated. I'm going to check it out. Make sure we haven't been missing stuff. Jinwar, thank you for the $50. Where's My Armani for the 25. Crossfire for the 10. CR Gotham for the 20. Night Goblin for the 25. And I think we had called out the other ones. And I really appreciate everybody who donated subs today as well. Aw, thanks, Sven Beingold. I appreciate it. Oh, guys, don't forget to vote for us at the Streamer Awards if you think we are your favorite chess streamer. Look, you know, Hikaru beats us in everything. Okay? Can we just win one time? He's the better chess player. Wait, where is it? Anyway, it's somewhere on here. You gotta scroll to get to the chess players. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Well, Gotham is great, but he's more of a YouTuber, okay? That's the argument I'm gonna make. That's the argument I'm gonna make. You already voted? Is charity or donate? If you do the donate to us, we're gonna forward it. If you donate to us, we're gonna keep it in the bar. You could also donate directly. It's whatever you prefer to do. We're just trying to make it a little bit easier and have a bar for tracking as well. Thank you, Halterman. And we are mixing it up, so we're gonna be donating to CARE, which we have also in the link, which I'll pull them up while we wait for Andrea. We've worked with CARE on a lot of charity streams. They're a very reputable charity, and they're helping with basically families, women, girls, and elderly will. So they're trying to get immediate aid, recovery, food, water, hygiene kits, psychosocial support, cash assistance, and they are prioritizing women, girls, families, and the elderly right now. If there's another charity you guys want to support as well that's helping them out, please feel free to. If you're not in a position where you can support, that's also okay. Yet, who else did a chess travel show, guys? That is you know, a fair point. Alright, I'm gonna log out of this account so that Andrea is on her own chess.com account. Mobamba 604. And honestly, it's probably time we change her profile photo. Let me just do it off here in case I'm leaking her private settings. Alright, I'm changing her profile photo. Let's see. Do we have any pictures on this computer? We do. Alright, I have one. Oh no, but it's not really saved. 1 second. Wait, we actually have a good one. But I need to crop it, and you can't crop it on chess.com. Which is okay, I guess. Let me find out how to do this. Okay, crop in it. We're gonna update our profile photo, save as a copy. Boom, done. Okay, are you ready for the reveal of Andrea's new profile photo? I think it's very fitting. Okay, we saved it. Alright, ready, chat? 1 sec, let me bring it back. Okay, here we go. Mapriel, thank you so much! Here it is. Pretty accurate. Beautiful. You know, so people know who they're playing. Not just any travel show, but a Hyperpoggy's travel show. Aw, thank you, Crappino. I appreciate it. She finally got a new profile photo. Yes. Yes. Andrea in action. We'll see if she noticed. Jack Splat, thank you so much for the $100. Really appreciate it. And yeah, going towards a good cause. Thank you so much. The other one was better. I like this one. I think it's time Andrea has somebody other than me as her profile photo. Okay, I'm gonna leave the layout fixed for her so that she could do her lesson. Just make it a little bit bigger, I guess. All right, Andrea.
Alrighty. Okay.
Nothing to see here.
Kiddo, what do you mean nothing to see here? You
Nothing
changed
to
my
see here.
profile pic.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't like that it's my own photo now. It's just, I like it better when I'm impersonating you.
Well,
It's not as fun when I'm myself. And out of all photos, dude, really? Okay, wait, now that it's my turn to stream, I can finally thrive in the darkness.
All right, you guys.
Succumb to darkness, my old friend. Ow, I almost tripped.
All right, Andrea.
Aha.
Have a good stream, ladies and
So
gentlemen.
much better. Okay, chat, I have to know. Poll. Do you guys like the stream better with lights or without lights? Because I think it looks better without lights. Alex thinks it looks better with lights. And every time we stream, but I would lighten it up a bit. All right. Sorry, Alex.
I don't like the darkness. Thank you, Sean, for the 10 subs.
Poll. Thank you, Sean. Thank you so much. Well, it's a little bit too dark. I would lighten it up a little bit.
But the thing is, when you make it dark,
It's
then
so
you make the
nice.
lights very bright in my face, and it hurts.
They're not
and it
that
gives me a
bright.
headache.
They're not bright, sweetie.
They are bright.
They're not.
I don't like having these lights in my
This
face.
is so much
bright.
better. So much better.
Andrea, Mr. Rosen is waiting. You guys have a good time with Andrea.
All
Thank you,
right.
everybody who
The
hung
contrast
out. Thank
without
you,
the
Ben,
light.
for the match.
I agree. I have definitely the cinematic genes.
All right, Andrea.
Would you agree that I have the cinematic genes?
No, I think it matters to also enjoy the environment.
I have the cinematic genes. It's okay.
All right. Bye, guys.
Thanks politely. Goodbye. Alex, are you planning to stream after or no?
No.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Mr. Rosen, let me just... Actually, I'm going to call him off of my Discord. I mean, off of my sister's Discord. Okay, students, before... Wait, does Alex have him? Thank you for the sub. Yeah, I'm just going to message him off of Alex's. Hello. Oh, that's funny. Last time that we streamed with Eric, I was also messaging him off of Alex's Discord. What the hell just happened? Oh, my computer. Thank you, Body for Clouds 8, a dipshits. Ben, thank you for the raid. Thank you so much, Mr. Ben Feingold. It was a pleasure. Pleasure playing chess with you. We shall do it again. You know, it was a little bit insulting, but I do think our chess needs to improve, and next time maybe we can score a win earlier. But we had you early on. And, mods, if we could shout out Ben one more time. I'm going to pull up Eric Rosen's stream right now. But if we could do shout out GM Ben Feingold. He's also a lot of my friends, actually, who I've, like, met over the internet. For some reason, Ben and Eric are always, like, two of their most watched chess streamers on YouTube. Okay, I messaged Eric. Oh, he's ready. He said, hey. Okay, chat, we're going to call Eric. We are studying the London system, the best opening of all time. And we're going to be very, very well-behaved students, guys. So it might be more serious than our usual stuff. Thank you for the prime. All right, I am calling. Time to be professional. I wonder if we can... Wait. Oh, I forgot to turn on my camera. Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, how's my audio on Discord?
I think it's good. Can you talk more?
Of
Just so
course I can
make sure it's
talk
good.
more. I can actually never stop talking if you would like that. I can talk all day
Okay.
long.
I think I have to be
Talk,
careful
talk.
what I wish for then.
I love to talk. Talk, talk, talk. I talk more than you
Okay,
go on a
I
walk.
think we're good.
Talk, talk, talk. Do you like to...
I think
All
you're
right.
singing rather than talking.
Hello. Oh, let
Unless
me put
singing
you
is
on
a
my
form of
stream.
talking.
Yeah, well, you know, when I sing it is. Okay, I'll make a little Eric Rosen cam. How are you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm
Long time no see.
Fantastic. Yes, thank you for agreeing to educate me. I really appreciate you making time in your busy schedule.
Yeah, my pleasure. I think the last time I was on your stream, you were photographing me in a busy, like, crowded elevator in Dubai.
I don't... Oh!
You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I wasn't photographing you. I was more like recording you, but yes.
Well, I
Uh-oh.
gave you my camera and you took a lot of
Oh, you
lot of
meant with your
pictures of
real
me.
camera. Can I see the photos
Yeah.
at some point, please?
Yeah, I don't think I actually, like, posted any of them. because I didn't want to violate your copyright. But
Oh, well, I'll
have to
give
go
you full
through and see
IP.
them.
But when all the sponsors reach out for photography in the future, I would like a 5% cut
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
for the hard work that I did, you know.
Yeah, maybe we can turn those photos into NFTs.
That's true. Chat would really love that. They really love
I'm sure.
NFTs.
Yeah, they're thrilled about it.
Are you okay if I'm exposing your secret cinematic secrets like that green screen, or shall I color code it out?
Oh, I don't mind at all. Do whatever you want.
Because
Feel
now
free to,
everyone's
create
gonna know
background.
that you're not floating in space. I don't know how they feel about that.
That's true. I don't know how I feel either. I'm still working on your camera, which.
Okay, perfect.
By the way, congratulations on moving to what looks like a really nice.
It's
place.
all fake. It's all fake. These walls are
all
fake.
fake?
I live in a garage. Let me thank Ben. Thank you so much for the 250 for paying the subs. It is gonna go to Ukraine, and Rudy with the 100, and Darson with the 25, and Jack with the 100, and the Ultimate with the 10, and Jinwar with the 50. Thank you guys for donating to Ukraine. Sorry, Rosen, I had to. All right, we're back.
Oh, no worries. No, I very, very much respect. The
I
fact
can
you guys are
also-
raising money and-
I don't really use TTS, but if you prefer, I can also TTS the stream so I don't interrupt yours.
Oh, I don't even know what you mean TTS is stream.
Oh, sorry, I meant voice to what voice chat thing?
Oh, like push to talk?
Yeah,
Or-
I meant to say push to talk, but I said TTS instead.
Yeah, there's all these acronyms.
It's been a long day.
Do whatever you want. I can adjust.
Okay.
I have my TTS muted, but
Okay. No
It's
TTS
okay.
then. We will just communicate here in the open air. My English has been just struggling today. Okay, what are we gonna begin with, Eric?
well, I guess I wanted to ask some questions. So I know you just had an adoption match against Ben Feingold.
We did.
Uh,
We did just have an adoption match.
But did you get adopted or what?
No,
what happened?
we drew on game
Oh,
7.
okay.
And
Oh,
actually,
congratulations.
he didn't even. Oh, we played on Alex's. How do I search? We didn't even play much. I don't think we had a single London game now that I think about it. Let's see. What was the alert? Let's see.
No London game?
I don't think so. He kept playing weird stuff. Chat, did we even have any London games? Let's see. Let's look at our archive. Okay.
It was on Alexandra's account, right?
Yeah, it was. Oh, it was game 8. He was up 7-0. Okay, Ben said it was game 8. So that is.
Could be worth looking at. Because I know
One,
Ben sometimes plays a London as white as well.
Yeah, I was scared to play it. Oh, wait, game 8? It was the one we drew? No.
The least memorable game.
Okay, no, it wasn't this one. No. I must have miscounted. You just donated. Thank you, Ben. I really appreciate it. And the match was a lot of fun. Now we're going to... Oh, I see it. Thank you, Ben, for the $50 dono. Oh my gosh, I think you donated way more than we played on. Thank you. He's saying you avoided adoption. Oh, on game 8. Not that it was a London game. I see. Let's see. Maybe the first game? D4, knight of 6. Okay. Wait, yeah, but he played that stupid knight h5, which is a disgrace to the London, so I don't count that. He played knight h5 on move 2.
Oh, that one.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
knight h5 can be annoying sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, well, we lost, but I feel like it didn't work out for him, even though we still lost the game. I feel like we were just better. But I think my c4 plan was an inaccuracy, so we could look at that. I don't know if you have a lot. I can also, like, just tell you specific stuff that I lose to. I don't know if you want to go at anything specific.
Yeah, so I have a few things prepared. But also sometimes what's best if you have questions or if there's variations that you're having trouble with, you're not comfortable with, then we can try and address those first, and then we can kind of go into whatever. I'm happy to jump around.
Okay. Yeah.
So-
I mean, honestly, there's always a ton of positions. Lately, I was even studying my London book. But what I've been most annoyed with is just the super, and maybe we looked at it a little bit last time, but I think it's what I struggle most is just when they play really symmetrical and they just play bishop d6 and they try to trade, because I only play the bishop g3 line, which lately has just been really boring games.
Okay, so if you want to show me like the move order, and we should set up an analysis board.
Okay.
So
We could also start with
Easily.
what you prepared, because sometimes things come into my head when you're looking at a line. So if you have like a specific game, we could start with that one as well.
So I actually have a few London tactics that maybe we can just start as warm-ups.
Yeah.
To loosen up a little bit, and then we can kind of dive into
That
the more
sounds
specific variations.
awesome. That sounds like a plan.
Are you under Alexandra's account?
I'm
or
on
Mobamba?
Mobamba.
Okay, give me one moment, because I have a board.
Another, well, actually,
Search.
you have stuff prepped. But another idea that just popped in my head, like we could even play like a couple 3-0 matches where I play the London and you play stuff, and you could just literally find my weaknesses. But we could start with a warm up first. Whatever you think would be more fun. I also enjoy the hardcore studying, so.
Yeah, I'm totally up for that. Maybe we can say that until the end, and then
Okay.
maybe I can test you on whatever
Yeah.
we end up covering.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I would like some games. I don't think we've really ever played much against each other, just with Alex. as a
Yeah,
team.
just like these team adoption matches or whatever,
Yeah.
the odds matches. But it'd be cool to
Like the one Ben
yeah,
just
to
lost.
duel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chat said this dude's
So I sent
face-
you an invite.
Perfect. This dude's face is so familiar. It's probably because you guys have seen him a lot on YouTube.
I know I make a very brief appearance in your like Twitch intro and the like
Oh.
montage of clips.
Oh, you do? Is it in Dubai?
It was in Dubai, yeah.
Oh,
It's like
that's
very
funny.
brief wave.
I didn't get
Are
the
you-
invite.
Okay, let me send it again.
I might be on the wrong thing.
Sometimes if you miss it, it just goes away.
Yeah, try one more time. If not, I should friend you. Oh, there it is. Okay, nice. Sorry,
Okay.
Crepino. It is a London stream today. Is the London your favorite opening for white, Eric?
London, yeah, as whites, it's
It
an
is?
opening I learned like maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and then once I learned it, I just fell in love with it.
Finally, someone who understands me.
Yeah, well, you've been playing it like your whole life, right? Or
Yeah, pretty much.
not quite.
Yeah, no, I remember when I was like under 1600, I would just play the London, well, not the London, but without the bishop on f4, just inside. And I was like 12, and then my coach was like, let me show you something. If you play bishop f4 first, your bishop won't get trapped. And I thought it was like a magic
Wow.
discovery, and I never stopped playing it ever since.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, from a very like pure like chess principle point of view, you're developing the bishop outside the pawn chain. You're making both bishops happy from very early on, and the pieces find like a lot of harmony, and that's why it's like one of the most popular
Yeah, chat.
openings among beginners.
Take notes, chat.
But even at our level and beyond, like even like top super GMs, Magnus Carlsen, are using London to just completely destroy the competition, and there's so many tricky lines.
Yeah, I try to study their
so looking
games,
into it.
but it's always like really novel ideas, and then I forget about them. But I've been trying to diversify my London repertoire.
Nice. Well, that's good to hear, because you can never stop learning. Like even though it seems like London is just a basic setup, there's so many layers to keep peeling away, and
Like an onion.
like especially with the move order. And yeah, if you ever peel an onion, just be careful not to cry too much.
Yeah, that's okay. I never shed tears when playing the London system. Maybe just on the other end.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, okay,
this
so
line.
the position we have is, I know a line that we covered maybe in one of our last lessons with takes knight d2.
Yep. Yeah.
And I'm sure maybe this looks a little bit familiar.
Which actually, I did have a question about, because what happens is they don't take the pawn, they play bishop e7, and it's actually a lot more annoying for me to play. I remember we talked about the e4 idea, which this is actually a good recap.
Okay, so I want you. So this is actually just a warm-up tactic.
Okay.
Is after bishop takes c5, is white to move,
Thanks, Ben Feingold, for donating.
and oh, shout out to Ben.
All right. Sorry, I'm focused now.
Yeah, no worries. So it's white to move, and this is more like a tactical.
We did do
exercise.
this. I remember we did this last time, and we trapped the queen. Right.
So what's the move?
No, not the bishop. Well, it's tricky. Okay, I have to think. I remember there was an idea. See, the hard thing, when I get taught, I do more memorizing than, like, logical thinking. So now I immediately remember, like, oh, there's ideas with e4 or bishop e5. But the queen does escape to a5. So it doesn't seem like that is
It's so
even winning.
important to not just rely on like memory, because sometimes memory can deceive you, and it's important to just understand kind of the tactical elements
Yeah.
in the position, like what are the targets, how can you effectively attack them.
Yeah, I need to. That's what happened with my hammer lesson. I did more memorizing.
Mhm.
I also see the pressure on. Okay, then I'm just gonna assess this like without trying to remember background knowledge. Obviously, the queen is nearly trapped. There's an
Good.
escape square. We do have a pin, which is why I looked a little bit towards like 95. But the problem is they can defend pretty easily with the bishop. Maybe we could attack this bishop, but like, no, we actually
I
can't.
really like the fact you're highlighting all the targets, like the knight, the bishop, the queen. They're all potentially exploitable. There's one more target
Oh.
that you have to identify in this position.
Okay, because I was gonna
Like, what
say, I
is
mean,
potentially-
isn't this just winning a piece? Just winning the
Yeah.
rook? Oh, I just didn't see takes
Well,
G2.
once you acknowledge g7, bishop e5, you hit the queen. You're not trapping the queen. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's queen a5, but you
we
the
win
rook.
more, which is, yes, just completely winning. Yeah.
So the reason I wanted to show you this one specifically
Uh-huh.
was you had this position against Hans Niemann
Are you
in
serious?
this like playing a game for a date video.
Oh,
And you didn't play bishop
no!
e5. And I was testing you to see if you learn your lesson.
I did not learn my lesson. Oh my god, I remember that because he was like, "Ah, you just missed a win," and then I
He pointed
literally,
it out right afterwards,
yep,
right?
and I still forgot it. See, this
So,
is how you
but-
know. I'm not. I need to be thinking more of the.
Sometimes
less
it takes a
memorizing.
few times, like seeing the same tactic for things to sink in. And I didn't mean to embarrass you, but
You
it's
did.
it's
You
the
did.
case. Sorry about that, but sometimes embarrassment is a way to effectively learn.
Oh yeah, now I
Yeah.
will. I will never forget this line, which is great. This is great. That's,
So there's an important nuance with the move order, because normally you won't get this position, and normally black has a knight already developed to f6. So like Hans
Yeah.
played a small wrinkle where he delayed knight f6, and that allowed for this bishop e5 idea that normally you won't get in like the main lines. But that's why you always have to be tactically aware and spot moves like this.
So the main line is with knight f6.
So yeah, if we review, like the main line is knight f6
That's so
is
funny.
way more common.
I like
and
that
then-
this is called Crusher GM in 8 moves because I could have literally
Hans
crushed
is a
the
GM,
GM in
yeah.
8 moves with that.
And you had the position as
Wow.
well too.
It's really upsetting. Okay, alright. I'm gonna put it behind me. I'm listening.
But it's incredible, like how many traps there are in the London that grandmasters will fall into.
That I forget.
And it happens
Yes.
to me like on a regular basis online. So, do you know the move for white in this position? Because move order is really important.
I think. I feel like it's knight d2.
Yeah, we covered this in our previous
Yep.
lesson, like 11 months ago or
Yep.
something.
You don't want to go c3 first. You want to go knight first.
You want to give the rook breathing room because after queen b6, this is where you go into what looks like a very similar line as takes,
Yes.
and then the main line is rook to b1. And I don't know how much I want to like go deeply into this because
Yeah.
there's a lot of like
I would-
complexities.
I would
but as
just-
long as you know rook b1 and then bishop b5.
Yeah, I would just ask you about the bishop
Sure.
e7 line because I think the main
Yeah.
line is taking on c5. And that one's easier for me to study, but it's bishop e7 that a lot of players have been doing.
Right. So, and as far as I know, okay, after e6, white castles.
Yep.
and bishop e7 is the most played move.
Oh,
the top
okay.
hole.
Maybe. Okay. Interesting.
But maybe bishop c5, it's playable. But after bishop e7, this is where you play like the stockfish alpha 0 novelty. And
I think
it's
we
a
looked at
relatively
this.
new move.
It's not e4. No. Oh.
It is.
Okay. Okay. I was.
It looks like e4 isn't playable because there's 2 attackers and 1 defender, but the resources are just incredible for white in this position.
I only remember this because we did this last time, but I
Yeah.
still need to understand
This
the
should be
move
with you.
properly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the way to understand this is white's trying to like disturb black's development basically. Like black's king is still in the center, so you're trying to create enough tactics and initiative to prevent black from completing development. And it turns out it's bad for black to take the pawn
Oh, is it because bishop e5 fork at the end?
because there's actually a really incredible move here.
blunder.
This is a line where you trap the queen.
We did do this too. Okay.
We did look at this, but I would be impressed if you remember it because the move looks completely
I think I know it. I think I
nonsensical.
have it. Knight c4.
knight c4. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
you just give away your knight, and the point is you have rook b3, and you trap the queen.
Oh, not bishop.
So
No.
bishop e5, yeah, bishop e5 looks like it traps the queen. The problem with this move is it allows queen takes e4, and then after takes,
Oh.
black gets 3 pieces for the queen.
Got it. Interesting.
So rook b3 more
better.
effectively wins material.
I'm really glad we're reviewing this. Okay, this is
So-
good. Yeah.
Yeah, like once in a while, like the more you review this, hopefully the more it'll like stick in memory, and then as long as you kind of understand the main ideas too, hopefully you'd be in a position to like figure it out during the game.
So then can we also take a quick look at bishop takes c5? Because I may have gotten mixed up. Because I think it was the main line. So maybe it was bishop takes c5 that I was struggling. But I think I also honestly
Okay.
forgot to play that trap in real life, in online games, against bishop e7.
Yeah, so when the bishop comes to c5, this is actually where, like going back to your game with Hans, you can employ this resource, bishop to e5.
Got it.
And
And just ruin...
It's multi-purpose. You're not winning g7, but
Yeah.
you're having ideas of
Thanks,
just
teammate.
damaging the structure. And okay, the queen has to move here or here. Say queen a5 looks natural, and then probably simplest is just take on f6.
Yeah,
And
because
the
now they
black king
can't
is not going
castle.
to have a safe place to go.
Yeah, that's okay. That's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And
And-
whenever the queen has removed itself from c3, one of the most thematic breaks in the position for white is c4.
Okay.
Where you try and just get rid of black's d5 pawn. You if takes, you can activate your knight. You also have ideas later of knight b3.
Yeah, I
putting
was
more pressure
I was gonna
on
ask,
everything.
is knight b3 like we want to trade that knight for that dark squared bishop, right? Thanks, Puke.
So yeah, it's a very very likely to be a major threat, and you couldn't play knight b3 right away because it would hang the bishop. So d4
Yeah.
also defends your bishop. So you're
Okay.
preparing this move.
Yeah, this is very logical, and I've seen not even this line, but I think it might be in some of the Joe Bava positions where we end up taking Joe Bava London. I've been trying to play that where we take on c5, and they also have c4 ideas, which sometimes I struggle with because once black has too much of the center, I don't really know how to play those open positions, which maybe we could look at one of those later. But I mean,
Yeah, that'd be helpful to see an example.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
for this line specifically, it's good to know of this pawn break, and even if the queen takes on c5, then usually whenever you get the chance, you want to play c4. Because
Got
it's a
it.
way to make progress and just maximize pressure against black.
Okay, and let's say they just played normally. Like, let's say they played bishop e7 here.
Yeah, bishop e7 is a fine move, and the position is still chaotic because you're down a pawn, but you have some nice initiative, and I think the continuation would be still knight b3 because you can kick around the queen,
Okay.
and the
Queen.
queen's going to be a target, and also knight on c6. So There's queen here or here.
We could look at queen. My main question, and this is kind of thanks Dagmite for other similar positions, is when to know if you're supposed to remove the pressure in the center. I mean, obviously right now you can't because your bishop would be hanging, or if we're just supposed to leave it. But let's say like after the castle, the rook might be coming here. Like I always take right away, and then maybe go for like some knight d4 stuff, or maybe knight d4 and then take. But yeah, I was curious how you would play that.
So the point here is you're making threats in such a way that you're preventing black from castling. So if black gets in castling and rook d8 and then you're on the defensive, then something has already probably gone wrong.
Got it.
I think the point here is you're improving your knight with tempo on the queen. And regardless if the queen moves to a3 or b6, you're gonna again improve the knight with tempo. Like let's say queen b6, you play knight d4.
Okay.
And here you're pressuring c6, and again black can't castle because you're ready to take, unleashing the rook.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
There's so many ways you can generate initiatives here.
Interesting. Okay. No, this makes a lot of sense. I don't think I've definitely been misplaying this line because I don't get in these positions and I play the first like 7 moves correctly. So this makes sense.
It takes a lot of accuracy, and sometimes like if you're playing a lot of blitz and bullet, you don't necessarily have the time to really slow down and gradually like consider your options. But like if you're playing a longer game, it's very pleasant to play this as white because you have a lot of like attractive looking ways to put the pressure on black.
Awesome. Okay. This is perfect. This is a great recap of this main line.
Yeah, and I think like one way to kind of organize your London preparation is just knowing this position. After knight bd2, because this is one of the main.
Yeah.
There's a word called tabia. I don't know if you've heard this word tabia before. It's like a tabia position. It's one of the mainline positions where things can branch out. Okay. And like black has a lot of options. We just looked at queen b6, but there's a lot of different moves for black.
Ooh, yeah. Actually, this is perfect. This is literally what I wanted to look at. Mm-hmm. Like, so bishop f5 and bishop g4 is what I wanted to look at. Because I know... Yeah. Again,
I've been looking at your recent games in the London, and I've seen you've reached this position...
A lot.
Several dozen times.
Yes.
And you've encountered bishop f5 a good amount.
Which I think you're supposed to take on c5. And
I didn't see you play this move online, but you know it here.
That's the thing. Like I keep studying this position because I keep getting in this, playing it regularly, and then hate it because it's boring and it's symmetrical. And I know like here, and I know that we can somehow actually. All right, let me see if I can understand it. Bang.
Yeah, so it's very important to play the next move.
Yes.
For white because
yes,
black's ready to take and be happy.
Yes, I'm trying to think if it's either knight b3 or it might be something else. I know. Okay, no, I'm getting I'm pretty sure. What would they do?
I like the fact that you pointed out knight b3 because it's good to understand why knight b3
doesn't work.
Is not the best move because it looks like you're just defending the pawn.
Yeah.
But black has a nifty approach is just to take the pawn.
Oh yeah, and the fork
takes queen a5.
Yeah. Which. Yeah, this is confusing me because in one of the Drobava lines, we actually let them go for that fork, and there's a way that we can defend against it, and I was just thinking about that position right now.
There's a different resource here. Rather than directly defending the pawn, you can create create other types of threats. Knight d4 is a really nice move.
Yeah.
Because you're hitting the bishop, and you're pressuring the knight. Like, one major threat is bishop b5 here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, understanding, I know, like, I've memorized this line, but I struggle with the ideas and the concepts behind this position.
Yeah, so, like, going back after black played bishop f5, the reason for taking is you're preparing this move to exploit the bishop.
Got it. Okay.
And it's really worth remembering, or, like, understanding, too, because I can't tell you how many strong players have just walked into this against me as black. And a lot of players will play bishop g6, just trying to like hold their ground.
Yep.
But then white has bishop b5. And
Got
again,
it.
with the initiative.
Yeah, this is just crushing.
With tempo. White's winning material here, as far as I know. Most people will play rook c8.
Oh, okay.
And
I know how this
then-
wins because then we take. Sorry, we take and we fork.
Yeah, just to show for
yeah.
chat. Takes bishop a6, the rook gets trapped. With rook a8, there's bishop b7.
And what if they defend with queen c8?
Yeah, if queen c8, then black is kind of subjecting themselves to passivity, and they still haven't won back the pawn.
Yeah.
And now you can just defend the pawn with b4.
Oh, okay.
Knight
This is very
knight's
convenient.
pinned.
Great.
c3 if necessary, bring your knight in.
Okay.
e5 isn't possible because you take, so everything's under control for white here.
This is a great review. This is good. Cuz
Yeah, so especially I think we're covering at least some of the lines that you'll encounter most often. So.
yeah, for sure.
One more thing, if knight d4, the best move for black is to take the pawn. But
Okay.
then you're very happy to just snag the bishop
Trade the
pair.
bishops. Oh, this is the
damage
position.
structure.
Yeah. This is a similar position. I don't know if c4 is an idea here, maybe not cuz they have this. But like when I just don't have the pawn on d4, I really struggle playing these positions.
Yeah, so here there's no reason to be like too confrontational. As white, you can just calmly complete development, bishop d3.
Mm-hmm.
Improve the bishop, attack the pawn. Black will probably play g6 to defend. And yeah, you probably don't want to play c4 because it allows d4. And
Yeah.
the thing to understand here is black has an isolated d-pawn. So whenever the opponent has an isolated pawn, one of the most important squares to control is a square right in front of the pawn.
Yeah, so I'm assuming knight b3 is an idea.
So a move like knight b3 or like just start
Even-
with c3.
Oh, yeah.
Just ensuring nothing, like the pawn can advance. And once you blockade the pawn, then it's going to be a long-term weakness.
Okay, makes sense.
Eventually knight b3. I usually like to put the queen on f3, rook on d1, castle. And white
Okay.
has a really nice setup. And the bishop pair, and better structure, so...
Yeah, this is very useful. Like this c3 move is another move I memorized just because I'm like, oh, in London you always push c3, but when I studied it, I don't actually look at why am I doing it, which you should, yeah, if you understand the threat of d4, this is very logical.
Yeah, there's understanding like the immediate like threats, but then there's understanding like the optimal like best setup. And if you know like where your eventual your pieces will be with the knight coming to b3, rooks coming to the d file, then hopefully you'll be happier entering these positions.
No, this is great. I need to just actually start playing these lines in games.
Yeah, and like again, maybe some of this will still be a bit new or fresh, and like if you play a game and you didn't remember your preparation, it's really important to go back and see what
review.
you could have improved on,
Thanks,
even when
Norwegian.
you play Hans.
Yes, I can't believe I could have won that match with a beautiful London line. That would have been such a big win
Yes.
for the London.
And
But I
especially
choked.
like winning in 8 moves, basically.
Yeah, that would have been. Could have made 2 videos. Could have made beat a GM in 8 moves, and I could have made the date video
Be great YouTube content.
next time. Okay.
Okay, so we covered bishop f5,
Bishop g4.
bishop g4.
Very
I remember
annoying.
I showed you in one of our previous lessons.
Okay, let's recap. Let's see if I remember.
I'll give you another like tactical trap. This is one of my favorite London traps.
Okay, I couldn't have
in
forgotten if it
opening.
was your favorite.
And it starts very simply, just c3, completing the London triangle. Black will play e6. And then the move I like to play is not the main line. Like most GMs play queen b3.
Yeah, which is
But the
what
move
I've
I
been
enjoy
playing.
is queen a4.
Oh, I forgot about this. Yes, because I keep playing queen b3 because I understand as soon as the bishop pins you, you want to get your queen out. This is always like the most common move. But yeah, you play this move, which I did forget about. I'm gonna save this
There's
PGN.
nothing wrong with queen b3, but queen a4, like it'll trap a lot of even
Good.
strong players.
That's
'Cause
what
the
we
most
need.
natural move for black is a blunder here.
Which
natural move
is
is bishop
queen.
b6.
Oh, I was gonna say queen c8, but that's not natural.
Like, yeah, queen c8 is probably like one of the better moves, but white to move here. There's one winning move.
And the funny part is we've done this before, and I forgot it. All right.
Okay, try and address like what are the potential targets, what are white's resources.
Okay. So we have a few threats, like knight in the center, which would put pressure here and here, but then we'll look into them taking, which not sure if that leads to anything. There's bishop here. We do have some pressure on this pawn, which we could take. We could have some attacks on the queen. Oh, well, if we trade first, and then we go knight here, then we're attacking this bishop, and we're attacking this. So, well, the bishop is defended, so we actually don't have as much time as I thought for bishop b5. Bang. What if we played this first, attacking this, because then he has to defend with the queen, and then the queen would waste a tempo when we take here. So I think, and if he takes our bishop, then we could take check, so that's fine. So I feel like it's bishop here, because queen here, then we play here, then he plays here, then we play here. But even that's not that good. That's not actually winning, because then he could defend with the rook, and sure, we have a much better position, which is
Yeah, so
good.
you've identified like almost all of the main like attacking resources for white.
Yeah.
The common mistake that you've made here, and it's easy to make in a lot of different types of positions where there's like a clear best tactical continuation, you are going down the wrong rabbit hole.
Oh,
And
gosh.
there's one idea, one move in particular that you just didn't consider. Like you drew the arrows for like all the direct forcing moves.
Yeah.
But there's one other move that you kind of have to think out of the box, because it's at first it just looks dumb and not playable.
Oh, I remember your trick. It's bishop a6. Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
remember this so vividly. You showed me this. I was so proud of this. I played it for like 2 weeks straight, and then it just completely slipped my memory, and I never played it again and forgot about it. But I remember
and
this.
that's okay. That's okay. But like that's why
Bye,
like
Capino,
review
thank
is
you.
good, and like hopefully like someday you'll get this in the game, and then it will never slip your memory.
No, this is a very important reminder, because what happens with the London, because it's the only opening that I play for white, which whether maybe that's unhealthy or not, I forget to look for new ideas, because I just am so used to all the basic themes, which is knight in the center, maybe pin here, maybe bishop trades, that I never really start thinking out of the box, because it just becomes like all instinct.
Yeah, and, like if you start like trying to explore and find new ideas, it can make just the position way more exciting, and it can make your games more fun too, because then you'll
Yeah.
be having more fresh positions rather than kind of the same old every game.
Yes.
And just to explain, like the reason why this works is we hit the pawn, and we just want to take the pawn. Like if rook b8 we take, and then
This is great.
take.
I remember this. I'm
All
not
these
going to
lines,
forget it.
like winning the pawn, and if takes we take and hit everything, and
Yes.
yeah, it's a super fun position. So if you want to review this further, our last London lesson, it's on YouTube. You can rewatch the video.
Okay, I
answer all the
will.
lines.
Yes, I will do that. I will. And chat, you guys hold me accountable. If you see these lines on the games and you don't see me playing the best move, then make sure to give me the finger. All right. What about
Yeah,
and if
before
they
the
played
index
queen c8 in that position?
Oh yeah, so yeah, we can just go.
Can't believe we forgot, but I'm really grateful for
Sorry.
your patience, and I'm also really happy that we're reviewing, because these are such good lines. And yeah, I played them for a little bit, remembered our lesson, then just forgot and never reviewed, which I actually did some London studying, so I should have went back to those.
Yeah, it's sometimes you just have to shift the mindset too. That like you're gonna review your lines. You're gonna like with every game you play, you'll see what you could have improved on. Yeah, Queen C8. This is where you can basically unleash all the arrows that you were drawing earlier, like this knight E5 idea, bishop E5. Because of course bishop A6 doesn't work, but you have. I'd probably start with knight E5.
Okay.
And
Bishop here.
Yeah, you're hitting the bishop. If the bishop moves back, then you can just increase pressure. Now you have 3 attackers.
Oh yeah,
against
now
the
we're just winning a pawn.
knight. And looks like white's just winning
Easy.
a pawn here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. It will be ingrained in my brain.
So hopefully that covers, like
Yes.
we've covered the 2 main bishop moves.
Maybe.
So if you ever have like an OTB game and your opponent touches their light squared bishop, you'll automatically
I
like,
will
be
flash
confident
back
and prepared.
to this moment. No, this is very
Yeah.
helpful. Even though it's review,
Good.
this is very important. This is like literally the stuff that I have been struggling with in most of my recent games. So maybe we could play like a couple blitz games where you do stuff that we never discussed before, like your favorite London counter attacks or something.
Yeah, I'm curious maybe how you would you would play against my like anti-London as black,
Yeah.
and see where that goes.
I know you have
So
a
yeah, if
lot
you
of
want to
like
play a game.
video. I don't know if you have one like how to defeat the London, but I know you're known for traps and gambits, which probably aren't all against. I don't know if it would all still be the London, but I want to see your best weapons against London.
Well, I have one really dirty weapon,
Okay, all right,
which
perfect.
I'm actually curious if you've seen before.
Okay. Oh, you're
It's
gonna
better
show
to
me
just-
it?
we'll play it out in the analysis board because I don't want to play a full game with this.
Okay.
But I want you
That's
to
nice
play
of
as
you.
white.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
And I'm gonna be black.
Okay, let's see it. Oh no, I hate. Ben did some of this funny business. Actually, I have a feeling like it's this stuff where you're trying to go for like this, which I actually don't have a counterattack, but I just don't think it's good.
Okay, you've passed the test. Knight f3, fine move. The thing to know here is don't play e3.
Yep.
E3 loses a piece by force.
Oh, I've definitely fallen for this. I'm
Ah.
trying to think.
Black to move and win the bishop.
Yep, there's something silly with the pawns, and it always gets me.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's like you go for this. No.
E5.
Wait, but if I take with the bishop and then you attack, I come here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, we
yep.
keep going. So basically, black will control all these squares
Yep.
with the kingside pawn.
I've fallen for this a few times, but now I play knight
okay.
first. Yep, it's very
Yeah, as long
annoying.
as you play knight f3, or you can be safe and play h3, give your bishop room. But
Nice.
This is a really nifty one that a lot of players will fall into because a lot of people like either pre-move e3 or they play e3 without thinking.
Yeah, no, surprisingly, and like not even for maybe it is because they're hoping for this trap, and then we play into like a normal position, which I think we even had kind of a game like today with Ben. Maybe it wasn't this stuff, but he definitely did have some h5 pushes, which I don't know if there's like any main lines against this, but like this setup, and I try not to allow this by just unpinning. I think if you just play normally as white, it's not something to worry about it, but I don't know if there's any specific lines.
I would say just play normally. Like the thing to understand, black kind of wasted the tempo in the opening, like moved a pawn hoping for a trap, but they're not really improving anything with h5.
Awesome.
If you want to be a bit more ambitious, you can play a queen's gambit setup. Let's imagine like this, and then I even know what black does. Like knight f6, you could now you can play e3 because you're controlling e5 with the knight, and eventually play c4, knight c3.
Okay, even if they go for a bishop g, well here we probably just
bishop
want to
g4,
push.
you have h3. So
Okay. It's weird, some
Yeah.
positions with bishop g4, like h3 is not a good move. I mean, of course, when the bishop still has the square. But even sometimes when they take on f3, I feel like my queen is misplaced.
Yeah, you in general you'd be happy with the trade because the way you can think of it, your queen is activating for free, and black lost 2 tempi just to trade off the bishop,
Yeah,
and you got
exactly.
the bishop pair. So a lot of reasons to be happy with bishop g4, bishop takes f3.
Okay, awesome.
And sometimes your queen can even come to g3 and create the battery. So
I want to see if I can remember this Joe Baba position. Do you play the Joe Baba London a lot? Or at all?
against certain move orders.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Let me see if I can remember how it goes. Here,
g6, knight c3, or
not g6 lines. So d5, is it even?
okay.
Let me think. d5, knight c3. It's, oh, yeah, okay. d5. This is Joe Baba, right? Knight c3 on move. Okay. And now they go here, and you have to do this. Aha, this is it.
Yep.
Okay. And, okay, this, and now we're supposed to take, and they do this, right? Yeah, this is the theory.
So you might be able to teach me something here because I have not studied these lines for either
Okay,
color.
I was gonna ask you a question about it. So, yeah. So in this position,
The one thing though, like if they play this move order, one of the key ideas when you play Joe Baba London is knight b5.
yeah. Which in this
There's
position,
cases where it's not effective, but in this
Yes.
position, it's really nice.
oh wait, maybe it was.
Because
Maybe I messed up the move order then.
yeah, If you can play knight b5 and black has to respond with knight a6, you get a situation where it's really hard for black to remove the knight because there's no a6. The knight is constantly tied down to defending c7, and you can get a setup with c3, a4.
Yeah,
and your knight is really well supported.
This is exactly what I've studied. This is exactly what I've studied. But there is... I'm trying to think then what is the line we're supposed to take. Because I know pretty much you do knight b5 against nearly everything. Well, no, here you have to do e3. But here, if they don't do any c5, it's always knight b5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to... No, I feel like... Okay, I'm very curious if it's knight b5 still in this position.
So it's important, like next time you encounter something like this in the game that you realize you haven't like been prepared for, or you forget your preparation, then you gotta make note of it. And,
maybe it's... See, okay, I think it might be I think what it is, I think d takes e5 is just slightly better. Well, I don't know, also because on the eval bar, d takes e5 is just a little bit better than knight b5, so it might just be theory. Maybe not, maybe it is, or maybe both are playable at some point. Now I'm just...
Both look playable, actually.
Wait, it might be... Oh, I was going to say if they play knight c6. But knight c6,
so
knight b5 is winning.
If knight c6, then white's already winning.
Yeah, okay.
There's no knight a6.
Okay, actually, I need to do more research on my lines before I show you, so never mind. I think both are playable, but there was a very specific... Maybe my book just said to take there, but you could also do knight b5. But I actually do have a question of that whole line that we looked into since we pulled up the Jobava. I was really proud of this. Let's say, like, what's the most common, G6 or D6?
In this case, probably E6.
E6, and then we go, we can either do this or this. Well, I'll just put in a couple moves.
Sure.
It was funny, because I thought this was fantastic, and then I showed, oh, it's because I don't know that you could take here, but I'm going to turn off eval, because it's directing my train of thought. Let's just do this. When do they get this knight? Somehow. It's weird. In this position, I didn't get this. But I showed this to Hammer. And what happened is they attacked my knight, which I think I misplayed this for black because my knight is not going to move in this position. And, like, you're supposed to reroute to c2. And then Hammer was like, well, then how is this a better London? Because your knight is just actually worse placed. And I was like, yeah, that's a good question. Which might... So I think I'm playing... I don't know if you know the Jobava idea as well. But it's like when the knight gets to
black
c2.
to solve some of the problems. I'm realizing here you might be able to just start throwing punches with queen a4.
Yeah, okay.
And
this is... I'm not...
You're threatening some deadly double checks.
Oh!
And then if queen d7, which looks like very normal, just neutralize diagonal, then knight f3 and knight e5 is coming.
Wow.
It's not like wait for black to stop it.
Yeah, so I think I'm not supposed to play normally. What if they did like knight d7? Let's turn off this.
Yeah, knight d7 is a better move. But this should already be like a nice opening success because the knights are... Like this
really
knight
misplaced.
is sidelined. This knight had to move twice to pass a square.
Okay.
You have knight d6. I don't know if you want to play it so soon, but just develop and maybe start applying pressure. But you should definitely be considering these moves.
Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, I think what happened is I would play it as a normal London, but this queen a4 move I haven't looked at, so I'm glad you brought this up.
It's a good resource if you can combine like queen a4 with the knight coming to e5.
Perfect. Okay, that's all I needed for the Jobava.
Cool.
Thank you, Gringlish, again for the $100 to Ukraine. Really appreciate it. All right, some 3-0 games perhaps, 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
All right.
If you want to send me a challenge, or I can send you a challenge.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna mute, put on my techno tunes, and really try to focus.
Okay, go for it. I'll mute myself too.
I'm gonna try to beat you. Just want to get one win. Okay.
Well, good luck.
All right, sounds good. I'll start the game right after.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right, chat. Let me know if my music is too loud. We're gonna play a couple games against Eric. And I want him to challenge my London. Let's do match. Oops, I'm in all cap. Oh, we need to save this. We need to I'm going to download this right now. Download. Okay. Oh, shit. All right, we're going to download it later. We just can't lose that. Music's a bit quiet. Where's my... Oh. Okay. Should be good. Match. Is he I am Rosen? I'm assuming he's I am Rosen. Mobamba 604 I am Rosen 30 unrated. Yes. All right, let's go. Okay, I need a better song. I'm curious what he's going to decide on. I'm curious what he's going to play against my London. I really don't like this profile picture. It's tilting me, but we're going to focus. I don't actually know if E3 or knight C or knight F3 really matter here, but that's okay. Alright, is he going to go for this? He's probably going to do this. No? Okay. What is he going to do? We studied this position. I'm curious. He's taking. Oh, he's going to just... I wonder if he's just going to... Yep. Okay. This is actually good that he played this because I don't know what to do against this. This is actually very annoying. He's already... I think I'm just more nervous. I'm sucking myself up. I see him talking. I wonder what he's saying. We could do this, but then he'll do this. But then we could defend. And then what would he do? What if I do bishop e5? I don't know these positions, but this bishop is strong, and if we can't trade on d3, then that's a problem. So we're gonna do this. And he's gonna get away with it. He's gonna castle. I could do this. Wait, what if I do this? He can't take. I wonder if he knows what we're doing. I don't think this is a line. Interesting. Okay, this is good. This is good. Now we do this. He does this. Take. This is good. If he ever does this, we trade off the bishop and we're very happy. This is good. Chat, you think Eric's talking shit? No, he's nice. What if they do this? We run. This is good. We have an ideal position. I think we played this right. Okay, I made his screen small so that I don't see it. He is an international master. He is 2600. Holy shit, we're down on time. Okay, chat, very focused. Imagine we could beat Eric with the London. That would be really cool. It would be historic. Okay, I definitely really like my position, honestly. I'm going to put some pressure here. We're just going to play developing moves. If he ever does this, this is actually bad for black because we give the bishop for this pawn and then we trade off our bad bishop and they kind of have a bad structure. Nice. We have to defend this. Let's just do this. We have to do this. It's all good so far. What if he does this? Then we come here, he takes, I take, and that's totally fine. Okay. See, the hard thing is that once this position's going to even up, I'm not going to know how to progress. He said he actually hates the London. I got above 2K a while ago. My goal was 2100. Okay, good. This is what we wanted. This is good. This is good, chat. Now we could even go a4 or a5. He's going to do this, which we do have to be aware of. Even queen here, I kind of like putting pressure. I really like queen e2, actually. I'm curious. Maybe I'm not allowed to take. Why can't I take? Because he traps my queen? Then he plays here. I think he traps my queen. What if I take? Wait, and then he takes and I take. Guys, is this a free... This is a free pawn. This is literally a free pawn. If he takes like this, he doesn't want to do that because then he's doing this. Pretty sure I'm winning the pawn on a6. Okay, if he attacks, now I come back. This is a great position. We are beating an IM with this. Okay, let's get a win. Focus. We do have this with a nice tempo. Or just queen retreat might be safer. Maybe just play it safe, play it safe. Let's be safe this later. Nice. Nah, ugh, I see. This is defended. He wants to do this. That was a good move. That was a really good move. $40 seconds. If he pushes, this pawn is weak. I don't know if that was good. Ah! Don't take it! I was doing so well. It was going really well. It was going really well. Sag. I almost got you there. I almost got you.
You outplayed me in the early middle game.
I was destroying you with the London until that. But I was gonna blunder under time pressure anyway. I panicked
until bad things happened.
B3 was just a bad move, but I was panicking because you were playing fast. But I was only down 4 seconds. That was like a really good game.
There was like a crazy tactical move that I'm not sure what I would have done if you played it. Are you still in the analysis board?
Oh shoot. Oh no! Oh
it says
no!
You are.
No! I tried to. Do you have the PGN that we made today or no? I tried to. I didn't save it in time. If not, I'll make.
Oh, I just loaded it in.
It's okay.
Well, you can always rewatch the VOD.
Yeah, I just don't have the patience for that, but I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go back. Man, that was such a good game. Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm in analysis, I think. Yep, I see it.
Like you went for my throat in the middle game or in the opening basically.
I feel like
B5.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I was glad that you played this. I think when they just play Bishop E7, or not even Bishop E7, like when they do take on D4 sometimes, and it's obviously hard because you don't have this Bishop B3 anymore, so you have to go for this. I do sometimes struggle with these, but it worked out for me in this game, but not always.
Yeah, so in this move order, I was actually going to show you this earlier, but it's good that we got to actually play a game in it.
Yeah.
Because if you want to be extra aggressive, the move that I can recommend immediately is not C3, but immediately Bishop to B5.
Interesting.
Because you save a tempo, like not moving your C pawn.
Yeah, true.
And you can get knight E5 in and move sooner.
And if queen here...
So, and yeah, one of the points is if queen b6, you have the move c4.
Oh
and
my
this is a
goodness!
way more aggressive approach.
Look at this! I've never seen this before.
It
this
resembles
is great.
more of a queen's gambit.
Yes.
It can get really complicated because d4 looks hanging. Black can also take.
Yeah.
And you don't lose your bishop, but you have the move a4. Now the point is you're ready to recapture with the knight.
This is a very nice move order. Okay.
Yeah, from White's perspective, it's actually really pleasant to play because Black has some issues to solve.
Yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Aries. Aw, 43 months. Holy shit, thank you. For Eric Rosen. Thanks. Okay, that's a really good line. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
so Bishop
I've never seen
E5,
that.
just delaying D3, and actually I saw you had a game. The one game I found where you played this move was against Kurt Schneider.
Oh my god! I should have showed you this.
Yeah.
Like, before a match, he went and prepped, and he was determined to defeat my London. And he found a move that, like, computer-wise wasn't the best move, but to find the refutation was so hard for a human. And he just destroyed me. It was like a 2-3 hour match, and I played the same line every game, and he kept playing the same dirty lines every time, and he literally crushed my London with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I have the game.
I mean, I could pull it up. But honestly, I think if I look at it... Let me see if I can
I was going to show you the main deviation.
Yeah, show me. But he had, like,
I think you played, like,
handcrafted
C3
that.
or castling. But the move... Because you reach this position.
Interesting.
And the move to play is knight E5 right away.
Oh, yeah.
Initiative.
Which I don't know why I wouldn't have done that. This makes... that's what I was looking at right now.
Yeah, so this is the same position that we had, but we had the inclusion of C3 and Rook C8.
Okay.
And the difference here is that if I play rook c8, which it's actually a blunder.
Oh, the same idea. The
Because
same trap.
it's the
Sorry.
same tactical motif.
Yes.
Yeah, knight c6.
The Eric
There's so
Rosen
many
bishop
strong players that walk
a6.
into this.
Nice. Good stuff. Okay.
So yeah, black already has to be like really careful, and yeah, the main line here is queen b6, and this is where you go for the same idea, c4, and if dc4,
Thanks, Vineyard.
you defend the bishop, you win back the pawn.
Awesome. Okay. This is very helpful. Next time I rematch Kurt, we'll play this. I'm glad you played this, because I struggle with these lines. I can just never remember, because the games are just so many London games. They all mush
Yeah,
together.
well, we're looking at London from a very like kind of high level perspective, where it's not just knowing the basic setup,
Yeah.
it's about reacting to what black is
This
doing.
is great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe real quick, I'll just share the move I was scared of during our game, because yeah, like we both kind of got a solid position, and then I didn't realize my a pawn was just
Yeah,
hanging.
I was really happy when I realized that, because if I would have taken you now, you could have went c4, but I was pretty happy with the takes line till I...
Yeah, taking I think is nice.
Oh,
nicely accurate.
maybe I had like a fork. Oh no, not here though, because you take check.
Okay, I was scared of the
Oh!
potential for knight d7, so I was kind of scared of rook takes e4.
I was just looking at that, yeah, but I think your attack on knight f3, rook takes, we fork, you move the queen, let's say here.
Because it gets really messy because the rook is hit and the bishop is hit.
Oof. Oh yeah, that's a free queen. You wouldn't go there. Duh.
So
You'd go there. Oh, interesting.
I've toggled on engine analysis. just to
Okay,
get
I'm not
the
gonna look.
feedback.
I want to look and see if I can figure it out. So takes. So we've given an exchange. Now we're up a knight. Now we are down. Wait, we've equalized? We've equalized here? We got a knight and a rook, and we gave a knight and a rook. So yeah, now we've equalized, but our knight is hanging. Oh, this looks really good. Yeah, because then you take and you're attacking the queen. But let's say the queen moves here, and isn't our knight trapped? But we can't actually take the knight. But I feel like our knight is trapped. My guess is this is winning for white. Rook takes. Is it?
So yeah, so the thing to keep in mind, you're
Yeah.
already up a pawn.
It's not the move. It's
But-
not.
But no, it is. It's
Oh,
it's
it
not
is.
completely winning, but it's one of the best moves
Oh, yeah, it did work.
because it basically simplifies everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I take with bishop, knight d7, and it leads to just a ton of trades.
This is nice.
Queen c6, you can take, and then oh, there's some weird lines actually.
Yeah,
Apparently you can
we.
get away with this. How does this work?
Yeah,
though?
we don't
There's
need to
rook
look at this
e8.
computer BS. My brain would not.
Oh, this is actually really insane. But
What? Queen? So.
yeah, because after rook d8, you can calmly just move your bishop back, and then after rook d7, you fork.
Fork. Oh my goodness.
It's so hard to calculate that fully.
Yeah, that's insane.
But yeah, I was pleased you didn't go into it because it looked terrifying.
I was scared. I was just like sure you didn't accidentally give me a pawn. So I was staying
Wow.
very defensive because I was like, someone 2600 wouldn't just blunder a pawn here.
Yeah, but like white's objectively better here. I tried to play it off as a gambit, and eventually it worked
You
out.
convinced
but,
me.
Well, sometimes you have to call your
Call their
opponent's
bluff,
even
yeah.
if they're high rated.
Exactly. Okay.
Um,
That was fun. Let's do one more. Is there anything
One
else?
more, sure.
Yeah, one more would be fun. I'm really enjoying
yeah, I have
these
another
games.
like line in mind to test you with.
Awesome.
so-
And I'm gonna download this just really quick.
Yeah, go for it. Because yeah, we looked at some key lines there.
Aw, Krikor, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. So many nice chess community members today. Oh. Alright. I think I downloaded it. Okay. I'm gonna download it one more time just in case. Alright, Eric. I will start the match.
Okay,
Good
I
luck.
think I sent a challenge. It might have me as white, but I can like.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll abort it
abort.
and rematch. Okay. Good luck.
Oh no! What if I play like one move
I
and
can just
resign? Draw, do, rematch.
This should be it. I can also just okay, I'll just automatically
Let's play
start
one
it.
move and then draw because it's unrated.
Oh, but isn't it better to abort?
Draw.
Just for
If
fun?
we abort, it's not switching the color. Though.
Oh, I thought you were just having fun or something. You just didn't want to keep aborting, so you wanted. There we go. Okay. All right. Good luck. Good luck.
Right, good luck.
It's so wholesome. I'm having fun too. I love that. Okay, chat. We're going in. All right. Watch your time. Yes. If we were not down just like 5 seconds. Oh, God. He's doing... Okay. My bishop g3 lines are like the most boring of all my London to ever exist, so... Thank you, Mr. Six. Okay, focus! Focus! Put your noggin to work. I need a techno song. Techno. Oh, it's because we're not listening to the correct playlist. Oh my god. Okay, focus. Shit. I don't like this. But I think I have to do this. Okay, I lost a lot of time. I just needed a techno song and now I can focus. I know that there's like a line with this, but I don't know how to play it. But I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna play something new so we can learn. I'm not too familiar with this line. But the idea is kind of similar to the last game. This is never a threat, because we can always take. So now let's just develop normally. I'm curious how he's gonna punish this. I feel like my theory is slightly inaccurate here. But what I really don't like about this is when we castle, he'll take, I'll take, and it's just not much going for us. Like, especially if he plays Queen C7 right now, this is literally the most terrible line against London. Oh, he's doing this. Okay, he's testing me, which is good. This is a test. I know what he's gonna be playing this line, which is working here. Typically, oh, we have this. I think this is it. I think this is the move here. This is a very famous game. Ah, that's not the move. That's not it. Never mind. This just, what am I doing? Why would this be the move? He should have went, because now I come here, he does this. I panicked, like, for no reason. I literally just panicked. I panicked, chat. I misplayed this. I was trying to find tricky moves. Okay, let's not. What if I take? What if I take? Oh no, because then he'll take check. Bang, bang, take, but then I can't come here. Kind of wasted my moves with this. This was a waste of moves, but we're gonna play it off. Maybe call a bluff and kingside attack. This was so not theory. I think... Oh, I think I should have left my bishop f5, and that was the idea. You go bishop g5. Now he just has a stronger attack, but maybe we can attack on the king side. That's going to be our plan. Here, maybe castle, maybe here. I can't do this because he always has this. There might be a moment though. We can't ever take this because he'll take this. Now he's getting strong center, right? I just gave him too many tempos and kind of messed up. But we could do this. I have to take. Or do I? What if I let him push? What if I let him push? Where am I going to go? If I do this, I let him push. I take, he takes, I do this. That could be juicy. What if he takes? Takes! Now it takes. I think this is really interesting. I don't know if this is correct, but it's interesting. Fuck. That was a nice move. Yeah, right away punishing my pins. Now I have to do this. And now this is threatening to win. Could I do this? If I do this. I threw big time. Bang, 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 bang. I really threw. Yikes. He's winning this. Why didn't he take it? I don't understand why he doesn't win this. I mean, I'm gonna flag, but... We're gonna flag. I could have won his queen! I could have won his queen! Oh, there goes my queen! Okay, I just... Okay, Eric. Okay, a lot went wrong there. If I would have had some more time, I would have demolished you, however.
Yeah, you went full beast mode.
I panicked I panicked a lot in the opening. That was not theory at all. But I've just been enjoying these games, honestly.
Oh, they're fun games, yeah. This opening, I think you maybe confuse yourself a little bit.
I did. I was trying, you know, like when your dad, have you ever been at a chess tournament? It's like your dad's hovering behind you watching your games and like you want to impress them. That's kind of what I did. Because I remembered this famous game where Bishop H4 was played. Definitely not this position. And it was like a really great move. And I was like, I'm going to play this great London game and woo my coach. And it was just a terrible move. It was just too much pressure.
Yeah, there's cases where Bishop H4 is a great move, but there's
Not
also
here.
cases where it should not be played.
It's bad here.
As you end
And
up losing
I was
time.
also playing Bishop B5, which typically I'll just play Knight D2, Bishop D3. But I was also like, I'm going to try to woo my coach because I know the top players sometimes play Bishop B5. And the most I'll probably learn from this since I don't actually know how to play it.
Yeah, I was actually happy to see Bishop B5 because this is one of my favorite lines to play for white.
See,
And
I was
you're in the
appealing.
analysis board, right?
Yes, now I am.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we covered this in our first London lesson or our second one. So
Yeah,
it was
we
about
did.
a year ago.
I asked you about this Queen C7 line. You played this, which, yeah, we did. This is a famous... This also rings a bell.
Magnus Carlsen had this position as white.
Yeah, he did.
And he played a brilliant game that actually a few days ago I played Title Tuesday. I had the exact same game up until like
Is it?
18.
It's not that crazy game where like the queen's here and like the knight's here. That's a different
Not
one.
quite. Yeah, I mean there's a lot of like really nice Carlsen games in the London. He played a game where his opponent played knight e7.
Yeah.
And the move to play here and the whole thing to understand is usually like the main line in London is with the bishop on d3
Wait!
in this position.
Wait, wasn't it? Okay, sorry, you should explain the concepts, but was it bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes?
No.
Damn it. Okay, alright, continue.
Yeah, that's a little bit different.
Okay,
But
continue.
usually your bishop is on d3 rather than b5.
Yeah.
So if black plays knight e7, you can play bishop d3 here, and it's like an improved mainline London because the knight is a bit misplaced.
We did study this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And b6 is the most common move. This is what Carlsen played Grandmaster Bruce
And now,
Lucic.
oh my god, I studied this position from our game so many times because you get into like that interesting kind of middle game where it's like you trade off the queens. And it's like there's a difference because you have a tempo. But it's honestly just memory.
It's pure initiative. Like white, starting with e4, every single move from white is either a threat or capture.
Yep.
Until white is completely winning.
This is ringing a bell.
We're threatening e5.
Yep.
So the line actually flows really nicely. And again, you can watch the video on YouTube for a review, but the line usually white or black takes, you take, And after the trade, you're hitting the rook.
Yep.
There's rook b8. And then white keeps initiative by taking the pawn, which hits the
Yep,
bishop 3
this is the
times.
tactic. And then there's like a trick here because you think like bishop takes g3.
Yeah.
And then there's a very important move here. This move matters a lot. Which is
Remember?
I do. No, I studied this.
Ooh.
Oh god,
Okay.
was it bishop takes h? Okay, let me think. 1 second. Oh god, I'm panicking.
Yeah, this is still the Carlsen game. So Carlsen had
Yes.
this as white.
Okay. What was it? Bing.
It's good to see that you've definitely studied this before.
Wait, no, I was thinking it's like this.
Okay. So this idea can be like completely winning in different types of positions, but bishop h7 just doesn't work here.
Yeah, I need
Your
to
knight
just...
is blocking your queen.
I'm still remembering from memory, which is bad.
Mhm.
I need to just think. Because, I mean, like, if we just address this position normally... I mean, if we take right away, it's not that good because he takes here. And he gets the pawn. But I do know...
Yeah, you don't want to overthink this too much.
Okay, so it's just takes.
So this is what Magnus Carlsen played.
But there was a
Yeah.
better move.
H takes g3. It's like the most natural, simple move.
There's
in
a
the
position where it's like there's
But I'll explain, because this position, I have an improvement over Magnus
Yeah, I
Carlsen.
remember this. This is why I'm so
Yeah.
angsty, because I remember you specifically. We looked at this and you're like, I found this crazy line that Magnus missed, and I was like, oh my god, that was so cool, and I forgot it.
Oh. But the thing is, my improvement, it's only very subtle, and it's likely to transpose back into the Carlsen game. The improvement is just to create an opportunity where black can blunder. My improvement is queen takes queen. You allow bishop takes f2. And it looks like, okay, like black can...
Because of c6. C6.
It's c6, yeah. So after rook takes queen, c6, and white is much better here.
Yes.
There's knight d5, but there's going to be some like rook d1 and c4, and you're holding on to the c6 pawn. So what's likely to happen is
I think so.
after rook takes d8, then you take back, and then this is going to be a transposition.
Yep, I studied this
And-
middle game position.
Yeah, so when you take back, you're hitting h7, and you're still up a pawn, like black hasn't recaptured yet. So the most common move here is what Bosiocic played against Magnus, is f5. And now it's white to move.
And
What did Magnus
now... c6?
c6, yeah. And it's a brilliant like in-between move, because you don't move your bishop, you just make a stronger threat, and black is suffering.
I
And
remember.
white's completely winning here.
Yes.
And there's knight d5, but after
Takes.
like takes and rook d1. I
Yep.
think this is still the Magnus game, and yeah, after rooks get traded, you have knight e5, and it's just dominating.
Beautiful. I just got really excited when you brought this up. It feels like when you're like, okay, I don't read books. You know, let's say maybe you go
It's
to
like
a movie.
rekindling with something
Yeah.
like a cool artwork that you
like-
saw years ago. It's
I was going
you
more
see the
for
Mona
like,
Lisa once, but you can see it again.
okay, yeah, that's a much more intellectual analogy than I was gonna be like. I was gonna be like, when you know the end of a movie and you don't want to spoil it to your friends. But that, you know, Mona
That
Lisa
too,
works
yeah.
too. That's a good one too.
It's good to remember the spoilers.
Okay, question. I know I asked you this last time, and it's still a problem. And maybe you answered it, but it's still a problem. I hate
Okay.
this Queen C7 stuff. You know what I'm talking
so
about?
Queen c7 is not powerful in this position. It's only annoying when the knight is still back on b8,
Oh,
and the knight usually goes to d7.
oh,
This position, you just win a pawn.
oh,
Free
yeah. Okay, well,
Yeah,
let's.
because the bishop's pinned.
What about? Aha, here. But this, I might just take you down another long tangent, so you can just give me like.
Yeah,
I know
I'll
this
give
takes
you
a
just
while.
a very quick, simple response.
Yeah.
When you see Queen
Hi,
c7,
Jonathan.
you take the pawn.
Really?
It looks wrong,
Queen takes.
but you force the queen to take back,
Mhm.
and then you continue development like normal, and your plan is to go for e4. As long as you know
Ah.
this e4 idea, it gives white some nice initiative. You're going to have a slight lead in development.
Okay.
There's also a slight trap here. If black plays knight c6, then it's really awkward with queen
Oh.
and bishop, and you're winning material with knight
Uh-huh.
d3. Very
Okay.
nice.
Got it. This is all I needed. Just like a quick, like, what would you do?
Yeah,
This is
most
perfect.
players will castle, play bishop d3, go for e4, and yeah, you're not worse.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
Perfect. I'm gonna
So
download
there's
this.
maybe one more like small trick I can show you
Yeah.
based off the game that we just played.
Okay.
And it's a game. I don't know if you want to download this PGN because I'm going to load in like a very
Yeah.
short
Let me
mini
open
of the
my
game.
chess base. Oh,
Yeah.
it's already open. Okay. I will save the game. Whoa. Yeah, wait, did we ever... Well, I just played that wrong. Well, because you said... Wait, what was... Wait. What? Wait. Did we... We never talked... Oh, it was bishop d3. Bishop d3 after...
Oh yeah,
okay.
bishop d3 because you play bishop
Okay,
h4
yeah.
and it's already
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
uncomfortable
Okay,
for
now I
white.
remember. Okay, I was gonna analyze, but never mind. Bishop b3 solves all my questions.
Right.
Oh, Eric is frozen again. Sorry, chat.
Uh-oh.
No, it's my end.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
fixed it.
Frozen.
They were
Rosen.
calling
Okay.
you. Yeah, Eric. Yeah, that's you already got it.
Oh, you became frozen too. Wow. We both opened chess base and it
yeah,
caused everything to freeze.
exactly. All
Um,
right. I have
Okay,
it, yeah.
so maybe we can end with this like really cool miniature
Okay.
because it's a 12 move game.
Oh.
And it features some just really creative play from white in a London line that we actually just had. We had the first, or actually, we had something similar. I guess we had this position without c5 and c3 included.
Yeah. Yep.
The concept will still remain the same. So, in this position, or in the game that I'm about to show you, there's a really cool move that you usually don't get to play, but it's queen g4.
Oh, you
I know
showed
this
me
rings any
this.
bells, but-
Yes, and it deeply upset me. It's nice,
Ah.
but it's so hard for me to remember how to play. And
Yeah,
then
it's only like this specific move order.
Yep.
Black to lays knight f6.
we have to remember this. I'm gonna put it in my chess base.
Okay. An easier line if you want to like relieve the tension first, you can take and then play queen g4. But the game I'll show you,
Yeah. Okay, I have it.
white gets in this queen g4 idea, and the play that follows is just it's breathtaking. So you're hitting g7, and black already has to make some concession
Like G6?
to defend the pawn. Oops. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. You could play queen g4 immediately. What happened in the game was takes first and then queen g4.
Oh, okay. So I will put that.
I'm mixing up the move order
It's
too.
okay, it's
but,
tricky. This one's a
the
really hard
concept
one
is
to
still the
remember.
same. Yeah, so black has to either play g6 or king f8 or queen f8. All of these moves make concessions. If either piece to f8, it's kind of ugly. And if g6, it's a bit weakening to the dark squares.
Mm-hmm.
So in this game, king f8 was played.
Yep.
White continued. Knight d2. b6. Knight f3. Looks somewhat normal so far.
Yep.
And black went for this idea to trade off the bishops. So it's a very obscure line, and it's
Yeah.
not worth like memorizing. The specific line is just kind of admiring how white wins this position.
Yeah.
Is after knight e5 first, improving the knight, f6. This is where the magic begins to happen. White does not move the knight, but plays a really kind of artistic move, is queen f4.
Interesting. Nice,
So,
because I can't take...
Defending the knight by pinning the pawn, but also aligning with the queen.
Right.
So of course white is threatening what move?
Knight G6.
Knight g6. And yeah, black has to defend, so black plays king f8.
Mm-hmm.
Now white plays another really cool move, because now it looks like white's in a little bit of trouble because the knight is pseudo-pinned to the queen. But instead of moving the knight, white plays queen g3, hitting g7.
Wow.
So black plays queen c7. So keeping the tension on diagonal and defending the pawn. As far as I know, white played one more move and black resigned.
Wow.
And the next move is just it's such a rare tactical idea. But hopefully you can find it, or maybe someone in Twitch chat can find it.
Okay, now I have to find it. Let's see. Bang, bang, bang. Oh! I think I got it. I got it.
Okay.
I got it. It's this.
Let's hear it. Yeah, knight g6.
This is nice.
So normally, like this wouldn't work, but you're taking
Good
advantage
job,
of the fact
Ekmek.
is you hit the queen. Black doesn't have time to take the knight, and when the queen trades, then you take back, unleashing the rook to pin the h pawn, and black's rook is just trapped
This is nice.
on h8.
This is some good
So-
stuff.
Yeah, super rare tactic, but this did happen in a game. Playing white was Grandmaster Bauer, so rated over 2600, and black was rated almost 2300 FIDE.
I'll save
So-
this to my model games. Oh, Sag, it's not on. It's not on ChessBase for online games, but I'll find it. I guess I can
Yeah,
just copy and
it's-
paste it.
It was in 2014. I could just load in the clean PGN.
It's okay. I'll put it in. No worries.
Okay. Anyway, hopefully that gives you some
Yeah,
inspiration.
yeah, and I will actually. Yeah, we don't need to go over the other move order. But
Sure.
I will review because I actually remember. And also, what is your YouTube video? That's
Oh yeah,
lesson?
so if you just search on YouTube, Rosen Botez London, it's the first two results.
okay. Awesome.
There was one 9 months ago and one 11 months ago.
Wait, what was? Were they the same? Oh, wait, we had two London lessons.
Yeah, this is our third London lesson.
We've had
Yeah,
so
we're
many
gonna have,
London
like, a whole
lessons, and I'm
catalog.
still trash.
But you're improving every time. It's interesting to like see the progress from
I hope that's
lesson
true.
to lesson.
I hope that's
Because when I
true.
showed you some of these lines the first time, like they were brand new. But now, like you have some knowledge of them existing. You just have to.
I'll take that.
Fully
Oh,
understand.
this is awesome. I will link these in chat. Okay, I did not know that. This is so great. Awesome. Okay, chat. I'm gonna share them with you guys as well. I'm gonna give them my thumbs up, and come back to these because I know like that queen line is in here, so I won't make you go over it since I have the resources, and I'm not gonna do what Alex did to Hammer, where he gave her all his notes and then she just never used the notes and she kept asking him. So I'm gonna use my notes, teacher.
Yeah, sounds good. And if you have like just one-off questions, like you play a game or you want some recommendation against a line, just feel free to reach out. I'm even happy to have like a mini like 5-minute lesson if you ever like you encounter something you don't know.
That
So,
sounds awesome.
will
You're the best, Eric.
help.
Thank you so
Well-
much.
One question: are you playing any like rated tournaments coming up? Any plans to make a comeback to like rated OTB chess?
That's a good question. I was really sad. I was training and preparing for a tournament in December, before Botez Abroad, and it was my last like opportunity to play North American Junior because I was making the limit and I could have had really good chances at Women FIDE Master. And then I had to do college apps, which were due at the end of at the end of December. So I
Is the
didn't do
season-
it. Yeah, so I kind of sacrificed getting a title for potentially getting into schools, which I'm not going to get into. So now I have to rethink my plan. But maybe in a couple months, I would really like to like stream the whole experience instead of doing a chess travel show. Maybe do it where we're training. But we have to figure out how to integrate it into content because it's just hard taking time off to compete for chess right now.
It is tough also like competing and trying to do content on the side. I
Yeah.
tried to do it last month and it's very difficult.
How did
but,
it go?
It was very refreshing to like just play OTB chess. I played in Gibraltar. It was like the Battle of the
Oh.
Sexes.
Oh, Alex and I went, but we weren't good enough to qualify. But we wanted to play in that, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure usually it's like a big open tournament. So there
Yeah.
might be opportunities to play next year.
It was, yeah, exactly. No, we knew it was open, but it wasn't this year because, yeah, stuff.
but it was super fun, like super well organized, and I got to play the London a couple games, and preparation
That's
worked out. And,
awesome. That's awesome.
I'm still recapping my videos on YouTube, but
Yeah, I'm looking at that
yeah.
right now. How? Oh, so you were just yeah, you were just posting. Did you vlog the trip at all?
So I was doing recap videos like after every game for the first half of the tournament, but then
Nice.
I just got drained, and I was preparing like 4 or 5 hours before every game, like with opening preparation, so I had no time to like
To
actually
content.
do good
Exactly.
content,
That's why
and
like yeah.
it's tough.
That is really the hardest thing because if you want to make good content, like if you, I mean, you could just not be as committed to the tournament and do half priorities, but like no real chess player would want to do that. And it's just if you actually want to do well, you have to dedicate every waking moment to preparing for the games, and it's so hard to feel like you can prioritize other stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it's maybe still doable, but yeah, priorities are like it's tricky to keep a balance. And I'm playing Reykjavik Open next month, and
Oh
then
man,
the National Open in Vegas in June. So
I'll look
I'm
at
gonna
those.
try and like keep trying to find the best ways to play and do content.
That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear. Yeah, I know like Levy did one tournament, but I feel like yeah, people give up on this. So I really hope. I mean, it is exhausting, so don't like put too much pressure on yourself. But these game analysis, I saw your Pia Kremling. That's really cool that you're doing that. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, this is a fun one too. Yeah, yeah, I appreciate that. So
It's
um,
motivational and inspiring. One day, me too, chat. Maybe we'll go to Vegas. I could play the Vegas one. That one's like a big money prize, right?
it's like a big chess festival, so I'm actually looking forward to that one because there's going to be a bunch of side events. So
Oh,
I might not play the whole thing or play the main event, but there's blitz and I might give
yeah.
a simul there. So
Oh, you're gonna do a
it should be fun.
simul. Oh, I'll look into that one. Is it Vegas Open or what is it?
VegasChessFestival.com,
Okay, I will look into that.
and yeah, I mean, I
Awesome.
went there last year and there was very good turnout, and
Awesome.
it's well organized. It's in Vegas too, so
Awesome. Well, I hope you the best of luck. You
thanks so
deserve
much.
like
Yeah, this is super fun.
millions of subs. Your videos are great. I will be studying that London. Thank you for preparing and taking the time to train me. I really appreciate it.
It was a pleasure. Yeah, all the best. If you have
Okay.
questions, feel free to reach out, and yeah, we'll be in touch.
Thank you, Eric. Let me just before I leak. There we go. Okay. Have
Okay.
a good one, Eric. Thank you.
You too, Andrea. Take care.
Eric is like the nicest human being ever, chat. If you guys haven't, check out he's literally the best. And I really hope that, like, it's really cool that he's playing tournaments because honestly, I've been thinking about it for really long. So please check out his channel. Thanks, guys, for hanging out for the educational part. I think, can I go full? Is there full? I kind of have to use the bathroom. I'll use the bathroom first. I'm not gonna go yet. Let me also thank, there was like a huge dono for Ukraine. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It was Gringlish. He donated 100, and again, huge thanks. Ben Feingold, he donated another $60, and I think he also paid his subs, which were a ton of subs. So Ben donated more than enough and gave us awesome content. And Eric was also a great guest. So thank you everyone who made the stream awesome. I want to end with one game of Valorant. I really, really need to pee. Where do we donate? Alex has done a lot of a lot of research on a charity that has really good rates and transparency. If you guys prefer to donate directly to the Ukraine government and the Ukraine military, you can. I think if you click this link, you can also look into it. But it was one of the best charities that Alex found. She did a lot more research on this, so she spoke more about it in the VOD. Well, I don't do my own research because we split up tasks. I planned the content for today. She picked the charity. It's 50-50. That's what you do when you're a team. But there's all the information you guys need. So, we're not going to play Elden Ring. I'm going to run to the bathroom, and we're going to celebrate this successful day with one game. I am the content master. No, I mean, obviously, I trust the charities that Alex goes into, and you can also read right here. I mean, we've worked with CARE a ton of times, and I know that they're one of the best humanitarian charities. So, we've done a lot of work. We've raised last time we did a stream for Afghanistan. So I'm familiar with CARE.